この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Yakusoku no Neverland, The Promised Neverland, episode 7? I think it's 7. Last episode. Bunch of interesting stuff. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Certainly better than the one before it, so that's good. I hope we keep on this sort of upward trend. I had a few minor nitpicks with it, which we'll kind of address in the comment spotlight, but overall it was pretty cool. We dealt with the misdirect cliffhanger thing with Dawn and Gilda in the place and somebody opening the door. It was Phil. Of course it was Phil. God damn it, Phil. Why are you doing this? We'll get to some of that stuff in the comment spotlight as well. They got out, everything's good, but they also realized while they were there that they haven't been told everything by Ray, Emma, and Norman. And Dawn in particular didn't feel super good about that, and so he went and punched some people in the face, and now he feels better. Everybody's friends now. They all know that shit's fucked, and so that's pretty good. There was also the reveal of a new ongoing mystery. Who is William Minerva, and why is he sending messages to the kids in the farm via books? I don't know. Could be interesting. Probably a major plot point, considering that we spent a good chunk of the episode focusing on it. And then finally, Sister Crone. Sister Crone is aware, has been watching them, and is trying to turn them to her side. And I assume that's where we're going to start this episode, is figuring out what to say while Sister Crone looms over our main cast. Because she's a scary lady, and yeah, scary ladies are scary. Very, very scary. Okay, comment spotlight. Let's do it. There were a bunch of cool comments on this episode. Let's start it off with a comment from Anime Analysis. Anime Analysis is a frequent commenter on my videos, especially Banana Fish, and I found this to be the funniest tongue-in-cheek joke of. There were a few. One of them was by Mike and some other ones by some other people, but I like this one. Short and sweet. I'm disliking this video because I come here solely for self-validation and I don't feel like my opinion was validated enough in this video. Could you please like everything that I like and say only good things about it? Because I feel threatened when you don't do that. Playing the part. Well done, AA. Next one from CCS. Just saying, I feel okay with Dawn's voice. Good episode. Good analysis and deep explanation. I can follow the way you think, which is good for me to have more fun with this show, and that is good enough, I guess. The lantern is also a mystery to me as well, and I guess Dawn and Gilda did prove that they are better than the other kids, as they do know how to get out without being caught. Okay, bunch of things in here. The first is Dawn's voice. Yeah, after going back and rewatching it a couple of times, I didn't think it was super bad. There's another comment that we'll get to that I think wraps it up pretty nicely, so I won't spoil that. But thank you for your compliments on the way I do my videos. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you're having more fun with the show. If I can provide that to you, then that's good. That's nice. As for the lantern, I don't know. I think it's probably just a minor animation oversight. It's not a big deal. And as for Dawn and Gilda, we'll get to that too. Okay, lots of things spread out through a lot of comments. So, the comment for the key thing was from Revent. For the key thing, in the manga, I believe it's Gilda, might have been Dawn, that said they planted the key for one of the kids to give to Mama, so you were right. And there was a pretty long discussion after this, because somebody wondered how they got out of the special room place while Mama was sitting in her office. And the answer seems to be that when they were looking at the map, somebody, I think it was Emma, or I don't know actually. I don't know who it was. It doesn't really matter. Somebody said that Mama either goes into the washroom or into her office whenever she disappears. So I assumed from that there are two entrances to the secret room with the radio and stuff, and they probably took the other entrance to get out. Why that entrance isn't locked, I don't know, but it's probably hidden behind some stuff, so whatever. Next, from Facial Sponge Bum, which is a hell of a name. I feel like they're experimenting with camera movements and cuts in this show a bit too much. Some shots are very nice, but sometimes they try to go beyond what's necessary and it feels extra and weird. Just my opinion. Yeah, there are some things in here that are... How do I put this? They're not they're not necessarily bad direction, but they're choices that I would question in terms of the direction. Like, your job as a director is to evoke emotion, to use your material in the way that you see best to evoke certain emotions in your audience. And in the show, it's pretty clear when they're trying to evoke specific emotions, and it's also pretty clear when they fail to meet the mark. At least for me in my viewing, I see them trying, and I'm like, try harder. Or actually, don't try harder. Try smarter. It's more try smarter. Use your tricks and things in the right places so that they have impact. Yeah, whatever. As for the next one, this one addresses the voice actor. This is from Kronos Loliet. Kazoku Daro, Kyodai Daro. The VA makes the first syllables longer while the animation does the opposite, making the last movement of his mouth longer. You are right on, and after, as I said, rewatching it a couple of times, that is exactly why I felt that it looked so weird. It's that Don's character animation screams out the last syllable, and the voice actor puts a lot of the emphasis and the time of his speech on the first syllables. Yikes. It's not super bad. It struck me as off the first time I saw it, and then on rewatch, it didn't strike me as off. Was there another one? Nope, that's it. That's all the comments. Okay. Neat. That is the comment spotlight. Woo! Chill stuff. If like video, go ahead and do that. If you hate it, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. It's totally fine. If you could leave me a comment letting me know why you hate it, that would be really helpful. If you're not subbed and you want more videos like this, I make them, so you might want to be. And if you are subbed and you're not getting videos, perhaps the bell can help you. I don't know. YouTube's weird. And as always, if you really like this content, you can support me on Patreon by throwing me a few bucks. Also, huge shout-outs to DG667, who will have a shout-out at the beginning of this video with the sponsor message thing that I do. For going way above and beyond and giving me more money, which is really nice. It means that I can eat, and that's really nice. Not starving is good. Okay, shill stuff is done. TPN. Multiple versions. Links to the picture-in-picture versions on BitChute and Mega in the description. There will be discussion and the timer-based version on YouTube. Beep beep timer goes boop 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 beep, and on the beep and the green light, that's the same frame that the video starts playing on my screen, so if you're playing along, that's probably when you want to hit the button. And I have downloaded this from Nya. It's the Horrible Subs 1080p version because I didn't want to deal with Crunchyroll today. So, beep beep timer goes here. Doubt. So, they're going to try to use Crone as a pawn. Does she underestimate them? Well, she's revealing everything. She was one of them. That's a great way to sell them on the idea that she's actually on their side. Of course, she isn't. They're disposable to her, but they're useful tools. Similar to the way that Rei has this relationship with Mama, where he's a useful tool. This is also evidence to support the idea that I had before that the mamas are selected from amongst the children. Because Mama said to Crone at some point that something would be easier than scoring top tier on all of the tests every time, implying that she had taken the tests. So I wonder if there are special facilities for training and indoctrinating mamas or keepers or whatever they are. With grandmas as the upper level of authority in those places. That would make sense. Ooh, tell us. Emma's a prime candidate, right? Mm-hmm. This is a great sequence. I really like this, walking around them. Doshite. She's just unbuttoning her shirt, right? She has something implanted. Oh, that's big. Oh, that's real big. So once they're out... So, killing a mama. Yeah. How do you travel between them? So, useful tools. Dangerous game. This is good. The music is a nice atmosphere for this. Good sequence. Well, you don't have a choice, but do not trust. True, they do have that. All right, it's a standoff. Puts a lot of weight on Ray's loyalty, though. Deal with the devil. Like what? Proof of friendship. It's table scraps, sister. That's nice. Everybody's silhouetted. Ray's sitting alone. And he wasn't part of this conversation, so he's being filled in later. No, of course not. Right. It's a tool. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's smart. You don't have a choice at this point. Indeed. Two separate conversations. Interesting. What's Mama up to, I wonder? Nani? Box of books? Is that a trunk? I couldn't really tell what that was. There was one book on top of it. Ooh. This is okay. That could have been done really badly. They did it okay. Oh boy. That was pretty nice. See, that's an instance where you can tell what they're trying to do, and it worked. Ah! That's pretty solid. Nicely creepy. You're past. Ooh. Wait, now she knows that you know that there are tracking devices. Oh, wait, I guess they should know that because of the whole... Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Never mind. I thought that was playing a card. Or revealing a card, but it's not. Why not? Nice, they're playing it well. Okay. Why? Good choice. But what's the guard on the infirmary? Okay, nice. Just tell him. Okay. Not here at Plant 3. So Gracefield is the... Okay. She's never seen the outside world. Interesting. So there's still an economy, but probably... So I wonder if it's an integrated society for the demons. What are they actually called? Just them, I guess. Interesting shot. As their gazes follow her as she gets closer. Pretty good. Sister? You alright, girl? Yikes. Yikes. Body language and micro expressions. To trick you. Shit, Crone is good at this 40 chess shit. Real good. That's not good. Is she planting a seed of doubt? Or is this William Minerva? Fuck. Just tell him no. Oh, God. Please no, sister. Is that a picture viewer thing? Oh, it's actually a Polaroid camera. Gotcha. His shipment? Time for what, Mama? Did you lie to Ray? Shipping people out earlier? That would be rough. Something's gonna go terribly wrong. Because Mama has plans for today as well. Is he gonna overload it with the capacitor for the flash? The the calendar. Because they don't trust you. Oh god. 5D chess. Oh! Wait! Was that... Nah, it probably wasn't an Ava reference. Chance. Ooh, this is a weird one. Pretty good, though. 3D background movement. Tracking shot of her face around the corner. That's pretty nice. And it was short. Short and sweet. Okay. So. What have you done, Ray? Will she find the... Hi, Phil. How's it going, buddy? Thank God Phil's an idiot. Oh, she's gonna find it. Is that a folded up Polaroid? Or a note for her? Enough that she didn't go and fix the bed. Interesting. All right. The game is afoot. Whoa, that was good. Oh man, that was good. And she's breaking the fourth wall. Ooh, this is nice. Interesting. Hello? You may have done goofed. I think you've definitely done goofed. Have your micro expressions betrayed you, Sister Crone? All right, not showing us again. She being removed from her position? I guess we don't find out. Okie dokie. Okay. Pretty cool episode. Bunch of interesting stuff, nothing super jarring that took me out of it. I think that so far, the one thing that stands out in this show is Sister Crone. I think that they have done a really good job of characterizing her. And I can't speak to how she's characterized here versus the manga because I haven't read it, but I don't know. I like her as a character. I mean, I dislike her, of course, but as a character in the story, I think she is effective. And I think that a lot of the visual tricks that they're doing and the choice of removing inner monologue and stuff works for her and who she is in the story. I assume that a lot of the speech that she was giving, like talking to herself or to her doll in her room, was portrayed as inner monologue in the manga. That's just an assumption. Let me know if I'm wrong. I assumed that was the case. But like the other segment where she was like singing and yelling joyously in her room, though there is a minor hole in the logic of screaming out your plans to an empty room, in that people could hear you through the walls, and that's probably not the smartest thing that Sister Crone, who's being portrayed as a relatively smart character, would do. I think that both of these are really effective for characterizing her as a crazy, scary lady, which is what she is, and so that's good. It's there's more impact to it when she's emoting and expressing and speaking those things out loud. So I like it. I like it a lot. There were a bunch of scenes that stood out to me as really nice, like really nicely done. The first one was her walking around them. Well, first off, the reveal of her thing on her neck is great. Like we know that we know in our hearts that Sister Crone is not to be trusted, right? She's got her own goals, her own motivations. So when she does this, it's not like, oh, well, we can trust her now. It's like, oh, she's going to use this as a tool to manipulate the kids. So I think that's pretty good and starts the buildup of Sister Crone's 4D chess playing. So, got this date. This choice to have Sister Crone walk around them continuously while she's speaking, this is the kind of thing that that makes a character really unnerving. And I'm kind of glad and kind of sad that they didn't do some of the stuff that they've been doing throughout the rest of the episode on this scene, because scenes like this can work really well if you do it from the perspective of the people being circled around. I think having them all, strain their necks to try and follow her as she walks around them is good. But the whole this it's not really a trope, but it is a thing that I've seen before. I couldn't name a source for it, where one character circles around another, especially when the other character is rooted, so they're sitting down in a chair and can't actually turn to face them as they walk around them. It continuously builds tension, and it's really unnerving to have someone who's a potential enemy right behind you. And generally, characters that do this are the kind of people who would know that and would be using it for a purpose. And I think that Sister Crone falls into that category perfectly. And doing this throws off the kids, and is probably doing this in order to throw off the kids. We get this reveal that certain girls with a mother's recommendation and high scores are selected from the farm stock to become mamas. Makes sense. We can assume that Isabella herself probably has a brand or a tattoo as well. There's also the really interesting reveal of the scars on her chest and the thing implanted in or near her heart, the reverse pacemaker. It raises the question, how did she get transferred between one location to another if these things automatically kill you if you leave one of the farms? But it is an interesting look into the guiding principles of this whole farm situation. Like, the mamas aren't necessarily there of their own volition. They're there because they've been given a choice. And the choice is a non-choice. It's die or live, right? Morally, yeah, you should probably just die, but the system will go on without you, so there's interesting stuff there. Like, if you're not the one to raise children and let them die, or kill them in some way, to some extent, then someone else will be. Your choice to die is not going to change anything in the greater scheme of things, so why not survive? Plus, humans are inherently selfish, so it makes sense as a decision. But this also adds a layer to their escape, because if they can get off the property, Isabella and Mama and the other adults from the farms cannot come after them. Physically cannot. Though there are probably people outside who can, which makes that scary, but they don't have to worry about running real fast, because Sister Crone would catch them. And this sort of puts that to rest, right? Like, the idea before was, we're going to have to escape, and we're going to have people hot on our tails. Not necessarily, because they cannot leave the boundaries of the farm. That's interesting. Right, I can only live inside the farms as a mom, and yeah, we show a lot of characters' eyes. Emma stops them and wants to verify, give us proof, and the proof is Rei being a double agent. This is ammunition for both parties, and so they cannot betray each other. This puts a lot of weight on Rei's loyalty. Is he a double agent? Is he a triple agent? Who knows? It's interesting that he's not part of this conversation. Little things like this, like having Crone do a standing running animation while she's just talking to them, is sort of her bubbly, goofy creepiness, and it makes her feel fleshed out as a character with quirks and weird shit, who's been through a hell of a lot of trauma because she's been a child in one of these farms and has been chosen as a mother and had to cope with that. So that's interesting. I really like this scene. I like the color for it. I like the children as silhouettes with the shadows. I think this is a really nice scene. Looks real good to me. And then we transition from this into Rei looking out the window, which is interesting. We'll see. It's feeding into doubts about Rei's loyalty, I think. This big discussion with this light streaming in. It's pretty nice. Looks pretty good all around. All right, where's that sequence with the background movement? Yeah, the only thing that felt weird in this scene was this portion where Emma talks to Gilda. I don't know why, but I didn't really like this. Maybe it's because we've seen a similar situation where Emma's like one-on-one facing another character. I don't know. This scene feels off to me, and I have no idea why. But it's not a big deal at all. Get the box. We're sort of shown what's in it. There's this letter, a trunk of some kind, and a little box on top. So I assume that the little box on top is the camera? It doesn't look like it's tall enough, but maybe it is. Or maybe the camera's in the trunk thing. I wonder what's in the trunk thing. I don't think that's the camera. It's too big. Okay, I'm going to assume that the greenish-gray box is the camera. This shot was one that could have looked real bad, and it looks pretty okay to me. We're panning the camera up through the CG environment, and I think they managed to get the angle on the 2D cells correct, so that this doesn't look super weird. And by angle, I just mean that they're not changing in any notable way. Actually, they are. If you look at this piece of hair, I think you can see my cursor, right? Yeah, if you look at this piece of hair, or any of the spikes that are behind another spike, you can see that as we shift upward, more of it is revealed. So that's little stuff that makes this feel pretty good. When a scene like this with using CG dynamic camera on a CG environment and then layered cells that are just flat and then sliding can look really janky. But I think they did it well. And then that leads into another scene that I think is done really well. We start out at a standard angle behind the kids, and then we transition up in like a curve where which side is it on for you? Where the point where we're turning around is like over here in relation to the video, and then the video moves like this, right? Wait, like this, yeah, like this from your perspective. It's weird for me because it's the opposite. And we move into a really extreme Dutch angle, almost 45 degrees. which is nice and unnerving, and it's Mama's or Sister Crone's face being all creepy, and there's this light on her, and it's nice. It's real good. And that's our cue to move into this next scene. She's got her baby. The baby's head falls over. It's real nice and creepy. What's the... Yeah, there's no backing music. In a lot of these dialogue scenes, there's no tone music, which makes it feel sort of empty and spooky. Nice reaction shot of their faces, being all freaked out, but then they are resolved. Sista is real creepy. Real creepy. Yeah. Then we've got another bit of dynamic camera movement, which I wanted to look at again. We're just tracking Crone across, and I think they nailed the pace of it, so that's pretty good. The way that there's an ease in done on, yeah, that looks kind of janky. On Norman and Emma, or I guess it's an ease out, where you sort of curve off the motion as it comes in. Sister Crone's pace doesn't change as she's walking, as far as I can tell. She just stops. Oh, no, she does. Okay, so it's all synced up. It's all synced up. Nice, good, great. Well done. Yeah, they start to reveal things. She's looking through them. Puts the baby down. And then I think there's this sequence where we cut from Crone walking to their faces as they pan up, or as they look up at her, which I really liked. And I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it before, so it was a really striking scene. Pan around to them. Yeah. Okay, so Crone is static. Crone starts walking, and we're tracking her, so our camera is like suspended in front of her face. And we can only tell that she's walking because of her character model bobbing back and forth. Then we move to the kids, and they're slowly looking up as she gets closer to them, because she's taller than them, but far away they'd be looking near eye level, and then up as she gets closer. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Growing intimidation. And does our camera... Yeah, our camera grows above them as Sister Crone does, as her perspective changes on them, because her perspective is similar like that, right? Nice. I think that's really good. I quite like that sequence. And then she freaks out laughing because she's caught them in her trap. We get some eye wiggle. Nice. So Sister Crone is playing her own style, and she starts walking, pacing in a circle in front of them. Again, this is more characterization. She's ecstatic that she's caught them, that she has more evidence and more to work off of. It's great. One thing that this show does pretty well is when characters are in the background, they draw them with reasonable faces. It's an unfortunate fact about anime that often characters in the background have really janky faces. But I think that they've done a good job generally of having realistic proportioned faces for the background characters. This is nice and creepy. Oh yeah, the butt shake as she wags like a dog. Ugh. Real creepy. This whole thing about photographs, it's interesting. This CG shot of the photo, pretty interesting. Yeah. She puts her hand on it. I wonder what this is expressing from Mama. It's really hard to read her. That's sort of the point. I didn't love this whole sequence with the clock chime. I don't really know what it's trying to express. This isn't a situation where it's clearly trying to express one thing and failed. It's a situation where I don't know what the point of this was. First off, there's this kind of janky CG movement of the clock face itself and the clock body as we move toward it and underneath it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And then the tone of the clock is kind of weird. And then multiple shots of characters sliding around. Like, that feels off to me. Just a little bit. No big deal. It's trying to build some kind of atmosphere or tension or something, but I don't get it. I'm too stupid. It happens. I guess you gotta have a big brain to understand this sequence. So she crosses a thing off of a checklist, says something like, it's time to get started, I guess, or something like that. What does she say? Well then, I think it's about time. So she's putting a plan into action. I guess that is the plan to show Sister Crone the letter? I felt like it was something else, though. I felt it was the emphasis on crossing the day off really felt like she's planning to ship somebody out early. And I think the most effective thing that she could do, knowing what she knows, would be to ship out Norman. Because he's clearly like the center of this little group, the thing holding them all together. And I think she can infer that. He's of the right age. So if she lies to Ray, tells him he's next, but it's a couple months from now, and then ships out Norman like the day before they're going to escape, that would really fuck up everybody's plans, and it'd be really fun. I mean, not so fun for Norman. He'd be dead, which would suck. I don't know. Let's go over the plan, right? Ray goes over a bunch of planning stuff. Nito Burrito. Sister found out about the tracking devices. Indeed, he takes a picture of them, and it develops, and it's a picture with the calendar in the background. And there's a very distinct that mark that that Mama put on there. So, this picture is probably going to be important to some extent. Okay, for example, if Norman were to get shipped out and killed, Emma might hold on to this picture as, like, her only memoir of him. That could work. Shit, I feel like Norman's gonna die. Rip. Double-edged sword, something, evidence, something. And then, sister playing 5D chess. This is what I'm talking about, like... Also, the choice to backlight her with the sun streaming in at exactly that angle, it's really cool. It's a bit of cognitive dissonance, because this is sort of like an angelic situation, sort of godlike, right? She's got angel rays coming behind her, and she's like she almost has a halo. But she is, at this point, the most antagonistic character, besides Mama. Yeah. I like this sequence. She's like petting her creepy doll. Got these whatchamacallits, lens flares over here. Rays streaming in. Then we transition to real creepy stuff, and then there's this sequence where she dives onto the bed. Oh, that's after. Okay, she goes searching, and it's real cool. This 3D sequence, tracking Mama as her character model bobs. Everything moves around her. And there's this palpable feeling of, like, purpose in her movement, right? But also, like, her prey is near. And then she goes into this horrifying grin as she turns the corner. Oh, wait, where was that horrifying grin? I thought she went from... Yeah, okay. So she's got this, like, her classic smile, and then angled down. And starts moving faster as soon as she turns this corner. That's pretty cool. And then fucking Phil. Oh, I ruin everything. You can't hate him, though. He's just a goofy little dumbass. Unless he's not. Unless Phil is the mastermind behind everything. Oh no! I figured out the secret. All right, she finds this note of some kind that she considers her evidence. It's not a Polaroid because it's not the right size, and we don't ever get to see what's in it. But she definitely sees it as the thing that she needs, and she's already packing her stuff, which is interesting. And she has today marked off on her calendar as well, which is interesting. She's dancing around, and then oh man, this sequence is so good. Dancing around, and then dives onto the bed, and our camera angle is the eyes of her doll, right? And she is talking directly to us, and it's great. I love it. And the facial expressions, the animation, it's all real good. I like this scene a lot. Then we see our own position. And then from further away. I like it a lot. And then, hello, Mama. Think you done goofed, Sister Crone. What'd you do? And she's carrying a letter opener. Crone immediately sees this as a weapon, and so do we. And then the Mama flips it around. By cringing like this, it's kind of revealing, isn't it? It's kind of like Mama would have a reason to, if she found out about something, kill you. You just revealed that. Yikes, sister. Flip. I like this animation on the flip of the thing. Yeah, the way she twirls it between her fingers, it's kind of nice. Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly how I would flip an object. Like that. Yeah, one finger in front. Nice. Cool. You should open it. Oh no, and she is just so smug. So smug. And Sister Crone is real freaked out. We don't get to see what's on it. Okay then. Lots of things being put in place in this episode. A lot of interesting places this could go. And this reveal about him is interesting. I wonder if she's talking about William Minerva. Or perhaps... Wait, wasn't there a capital him referred to amongst the demons? Or whatever they are. I guess we don't know if they're actually demons, per se. The kids have just been calling them demons. They've just been referred to as them. That's what Sister Crone chose to refer to them as. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, gotta wonder who him is, and whether they'll ever actually find out from Sister, because it seems like she's being removed from her position. Maybe. That could be a misdirect, and it could be something else. But it definitely freaked Sister Crone out, and seemed to be like a plan-ruining thing for her, so... Okie dokie. Well, this was a pretty good episode. I think that they landed a lot more of the tone and like the visual tricks that they were going for than some of the previous episodes have. Yeah, it's pretty good. Good stuff. And a lot of that is because it was focused on Sister Crone, and as I said at the beginning of this discussion, I think she's really well characterized in this show. Let me know what you think. I've been Teeaboo. This has been The Promised Neverland, Episode 7. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And as always, I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace!